Okay, hi everyone. I'm Susie McCrae coming to you from Amherst, Massachusetts in the United States. I'm a proud global founder for a company called ONPASSIVE, and today is our Let's Bless Our Loved Ones guest webinar. You have been invited by somebody today to hear about a business called ONPASSIVE. And we call it Let's Bless Our Loved Ones because we truly believe that this company is a blessing to us, and the person who invited you wants you to hear about it. So how today is going to run, I'm going to introduce our first speaker, and then you're going to get a presentation today. After the presentation, the rest of the panel will chime in and give their 2 cents in on what they feel about ONPASSIVE, and then we'll wrap it up. Keep in mind, this is recorded and you can get a copy of it. I will put in the chat where you can get a copy. It's very easy. You just send an email to onpassivenation@gmail.com. So I'd like to introduce our first speaker. It's Marty Degarmo. He comes to us from New Jersey in the United States. And so a little bit about Marty's background. For the first 15 plus years in his career, he was a project manager for a corporation and traveled all over the globe. After that, for the last 15 plus years, Marty has been doing online businesses, online marketing. He knows the ins and outs of almost every online opportunity out there. And he has a lot of wisdom, because I'll let you know, once Marty found out about ONPASSIVE, he knew that this was the last business that he would ever be associated with. So Marty, it's all yours, and I will be back after the presentation.
Fantastic. Thank you, Susie. And Susie's right. One thing I did find out in the 18 years working online is how many bad businesses are out there that that you fail at, because I have my share of those too. In fact, I OD'd on losing money, that's for sure. Like Susie said, I started online in 2004. I was looking for a way to replace my income from the job I lost because of other health reasons. And I saw where some people were doing very well. I thought if they could do it, I could do it. So I got in, I did what I was supposed to do. I can't tell you the first business, nobody can. If you've been in more than a year, there's a lot of them rack up. And the same thing happens with you if you've been on more than a week or a month. You find a business, it's interesting, and you jump in. They usually you might have to buy a kit, or you might have to, pay your way in, that makes sense, no big deal. So I got in, I did what I was supposed to do, and then they said, make a list. I made a list. You know who the list is, right? We all know who that list is because they can't stand us anymore. So I made that list. I got in a couple of friends and family, and off to what I thought were the races, but it was a pitter, 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 smash, bang, crash. And that went on for years. And then I realized that the only way to be able to try to succeed was you got to learn how to build a list. And easier said than done. You could do solo ads, they cost a lot of money, and they're just a bunch of people fishing in the same pond. So they're all looking to give you their thing, and some of the leads that you get are used up, and you contact them and they're mad because people just keep floating their name and emails around, asking if they want to join the best thing that ever happened. Anyway, I fell into that, victim of that also. And then about 8, 9 years ago, I ran into Dan Street and Mike Ellis. We formed a team, and I worked on it long enough. I finally learned how to market a little bit, and we started building teams in whatever company we're in. And wow, you think you have it now. You could build a team. We could bring in fresh leads every day. Here's the problem. Here's the things you run into. Now, some people have never gotten that far because they don't have time. It has nothing to do with how smart you are. It takes time to learn those skills. So the things you run into, and I'm not saying this just my opinion. These are facts. Numbers don't lie. 98% of people online fail, not only fail, but lose money. So you get in, you find a business, let's say you can build a team. So what do you have? When you first start, you bring in your friends and family and rah, you're going at it. You've got a website, it's beautiful. They tell you to share it. Where? Nobody knows, but share it. So you try to share it. You go in Facebook groups, you do that. Facebook groups, same thing. Everybody's trying to share what they're trying to get promote. So it's like fishing in the same pond. And what happens is the first month comes along and you owe that thing, that nasty thing called an auto ship, which could be anywhere from 50 to 200 bucks. So you say, okay, I already paid for a kit. That cost me 500, 200 first month. I'm too invested not to do it. So you pay again. Well, your friends and family that thought you were doing the best thing since sliced bread, some of them aren't willing to follow you in month 2 and pay again and not make any money. So they start falling off. And this is just fact. I'm not telling, if you've been in long enough, I'm just letting you know. And don't feel bad because this is the game. This is how the game works. This is MLM. This is affiliate marketing. No matter what the gurus tell you or what they want you to believe, this is fact. I don't care who they are. And I know some of them, supposedly. And they stop promoting, they lose their business, really. All they learned how to do is bring in people faster than they quit. And every once in a while, you can get enough people, maybe they could bring in a couple, 2 or 3, but it's a vicious, nasty, unwinnable game. In the long run, it's unwinnable. Why did I get in? Here's what I was told. Residual income. That didn't happen. Do it once and you're done. That didn't happen. You share it with enough people, you won't have to do it anymore. That didn't happen. None of that happens. It doesn't happen, no matter what anybody tells you. And I got tired of getting messed around. So even when we build lists, and we can build teams of a few thousand people, guess what I have now? I'm meeting me 10 years earlier that doesn't have a clue how to build a team. Most people that come online, they're not marketers. Why would they be? They're bakers and, industry workers, garbage men, teachers, whatever. They're not marketers. Why would they be marketers? So they come into a field they know nothing about. So now you're looking at them going, well, make a list. You start telling them the same bogus lie that was told to you. So you go, oh my God, I'm doing the same thing that was done to me, and I know it's not true and it doesn't work. So about a little over 3 years ago, I was ready to fold this thing up. Either that or try to come up with a business of our own, which takes outrageous amount of money, and you have to have people help you build it, coding and all that. I could find the people, but we couldn't, the money wasn't there. It's a lot of money to do it right and to make sure everybody's treated equally. And that was the game for me. That was the main thing. Can everybody get a fair shake? Can everybody do well? The potential to do well? And the answer was no. So, like I said, 3 years ago, I ran into Red Redford here. He's here now, and Peter Rogers. And the reason I was even going to him is because I trusted him, which is another big thing online. The guy that, looking like he's got $1 million suit on, walking with the perfect family, the perfect 10 to a personal jet. Yeah, he's not necessarily your best friend, okay? Contrary to what you might think. So anyway, I went to Peter and Red, and I said, what are you guys doing? And we were in the business before, and they told me about this business that you're going to hear about today. And as I was hearing it, I'm going, wow, this is amazing. This sounds too good to be true. Now, this is somebody with 15 years experience. I know what too good to be true is. I was a master at it, okay? I lost in every one of them. But I trusted them, and they've been in for a while. And I said, so I asked questions, and I had to have the right answer. I can't do it. Can everybody win? Is there a chance for everyone to succeed? Absolutely. It's 100% automated. It's all done for you. Whoa. Okay. Is there an auto ship, that nasty thing that comes up every month? No. Oh, check number two. Do you don't, so you don't have to pay every month? No. Okay. Are the products something that I got to convince people they need? Like, if you've been on a while, you know what I mean. And no, they're in high demand now and they're digital and they're being sold for billions all over the world. All the products that we're going to tell you about, they're in high demand, but they're high quality and they're much better value, which is going to be explained to you by, I see Charles Osong made it, so it'll be him. So anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Charles now so he can break it down for you why all of us here and something like 1,300,000 other founders thought, wow, this is something special. I believe with all my heart. I've been in it, like I said, over 3 years. It keeps getting better, and it was already the best thing I've ever seen 3 years ago. So, and keep in mind, this is being done because we have a small window to introduce it to other people. And I believe in trying to help people. And I think this can change people's lives. Anybody that is interested in this, all said and done, probably won't even be on any of our teams here. That's not why we're doing it. It's not why I'm doing it. It's not why anybody else here is doing it. So I'm going to introduce it to someone who's got a lot of expertise in this field, AI and IT, 30 years to be exact. And he's going to give you his story. And someone with his background, you would say, you'll know now, if someone with his background jumped on this like he did and like I did, you're going to say, wow, I guarantee it. So listen in. Nobody's going to try to talk you into anything. You don't want to do it after you get the information. Have a nice life. Nobody's going to try to press you on it. We're not into that. So let me introduce to you a business colleague I've been working with for a long time now, Mr. Charles Osong.
Thank you so very much, Marty. Thank you to Susie, all the panelists who have spoken before me and those who are going to speak after me, okay? And good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, founders, guests. If you're a guest, hey, mark this date, May 3rd, 2022. This is the day your life is going to change. Why do I say that? Because somebody loves you so much, they have brought you to listen to a once in a lifetime kind of opportunity, right? And the way I tell you this opportunity, I just tell you frankly my story, right? Because Mark Twain once said, as long as you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Okay, so I'm just telling you the truth. Like Marty just said, he just told you his story in a nutshell. He kind of summarized it. I'm also going to try to summarize mine so that it doesn't take too long, okay? Like he said, I've been in the IT industry for a very long time, but also I have been in business just as long, because soon as I got of age and started working, I realized that I had to help out. I had to help out my friends, my family, especially back home, back in Africa, where I come from, right? So I needed extra money, a lot of extra money. And I started looking at residual income. I remember Warren Buffett saying, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. I agreed with him, look for ways to make that extra money. I got into MLM businesses, and most of them, they had to fail. I was making money, but I could not bring the people along, just like Marty said. So I stopped it way back when. But I also stopped working for corporate America just over 5 years ago. Not because I had a lot of money, nope. A colleague of mine said to me, Charles, you are very lucky, you are very fortunate. You must have saved up a lot of money to be retiring this early. And I said to him, On the contrary, I've been working for over 30 years and I don't seem to be getting rich. So I'm going to have to do things differently. Okay. So I resigned, got myself an office space in Maryland, in the United States. And now, just over 3 years ago, about 3 years and 2 months ago, actually 3 years and 3 months ago, time flies, we're now in May. A colleague of mine, or a trusted friend of mine, came to me and said, Charles, you have to listen to this opportunity. It's going to blow your mind away. And I said, what is that? Listen, 3 things you've got to answer me first before I listen, okay? So let me tell you guys something. When somebody brings an opportunity to you, and I have looked at this for a very long time now, these 3 questions are pertinent. Number 1, do I have to recruit to make money? Do I have to sell to make money? If I cannot recruit, if I cannot sell to even one person, am I still going to make money? And I'm not talking about chump change. I'm talking about enough money to give me financial freedom. Okay, so that was my first question when I asked my friend. And he told me, Charles, don't worry. You'll make enough money to leave a legacy to your children, your children's children, and beyond. I was so happy. I said, let's go to question number 2. Am I going to have to come out of pocket every month to pay some bill, month in, month out? They call it auto ship in the industry. And he said, Charles, you won't have to do that. You're going to come out of pocket once, and that's it. And I was almost feeling like break dancing, but I had one last question, right? The last, but certainly not the least. Okay. Does this company have legitimate, viable products? By legitimate, I mean legal. By viable, I mean necessary, right? Something that mankind needs. You and I, we need every day. Think about internet access. Think about your cell phone. Those are viable products. You don't have them, life is miserable. So that's what I'm talking about. So I asked my friend that question and he said to me, Charles, you have an IT background. Why don't you take a look at these products? You should be able to understand better than me. And I said, why not? Jumped in, looked at the products, and I came back to him. I said, my friend, should this company succeed in doing what they're trying to do, we're going to have an internet quake. We're going to have a shakeup of the internet, right? And just so you know, for you guys that are coming in now, remember, this is over 3 years ago. Right now, that internet quake is already happening, okay? But that back then, I told my friend, watch out. But I also told him, it's going to take a while. We're going to have to wait 5, maybe 6 years. Well, thankfully, we don't have to wait that long. But that's what I thought. And my friend didn't like that. He said to me, Charles, why would you say that? Well, I said, you told me to take a look at the products. I did. And I understand what they're doing. They're using artificial intelligence, AI for short, in every step of the development process. Now, AI is a disruptive technology. And what do I mean by that? One that comes every once in a while, and it'll change the way we do things, right? In other words, it will disrupt our lives. AI is yet the most disruptive technology mankind has ever known. But AI is very involved. It involves machine learning. It involves empirical data. It involves millions upon millions of lines of coding. And that is why I told my friend, we're going to have to buckle up and wait. But I also told him, I don't care how long we have to wait. I want to be part of this opportunity today. I had something we call FOMO, fear of missing out. I had missed out on some opportunities earlier on in my life, blockchain being one of them. I wasn't going to miss out on this one, not for any length of time, not at any cost. So then I asked him, how much is it going to cost me to be part of it right now. And believe it or not, I was thinking it's going to be some huge amount of money, 10K, 15, 20. I was ready. Thankfully, in the United States, you don't need cash. All you need is credit cards, plastics, as we call them. And I had a few of those at the time. When my friend looked up at me and said, Charles, all you need is $97. That's it. I thought he was kidding. I was discombobulated. I was flabbergasted. I said, you got to be kidding. He said, nope, I'm dead serious. I said, okay, here's my credit card. Put it on there. Now, by the time we were done, it costed me $102. Yes. So there is a $5 fee that banks will charge you. Big deal. I told him, consider that dinner for two. But I also told him, please get me informed. Call me, text me, email me. Do whatever it takes when they are closer to launch so that I can get more involved. He said, deal. Just over 8 months later, he gave me a call and said, Charles, the CEO of this company wants to talk to all of us, the founders, in 1 week's time. Can you make yourself available? And I said, why not? 1 week later, I hopped on the call just like this, and there was Mr. Ash Mofara, the CEO and founder of this company. Mr. Ash Mofara, for those of us who have been founders for some time, we have come to know and love him dearly. Not only because he's going to help us make money, and I can assure you, he will help us make tons of money, but also, and more importantly, because of his heart for humanity. As you're going to find out, we're already having our bless. The company has not yet launched, and we are already touching the community. Okay, my friends, there are lots of geniuses out there, and our CEO is one of them. Now, all of these guys have the brains, but do they have the heart? So that's what I'm going to leave up to you. As you come to join us, you will find out. Not only does our CEO have the brains, but he has the heart. And that is why a lot of us leaders, we resonate with him so well. We are so passionate about this business. Because of that, it's just that simple. Okay? So our CEO and founder, Mr. Mofara, again, like, remember, I was listening to him for the very, very first time ever. And I'm looking at him, and he came up and he said, folks, we have been making a lot of progress. We are closer to launch than ever before. I will never forget that day because my head was spinning. And I was saying to myself, how can this guy possibly say that? Not long ago, I told my friend, we're going to be waiting for a long haul because I know how tedious, I know how involved that is. But all of a sudden, he says, we are closer to launch than ever before. And he was right, though. But at the time, I didn't know that. He got me paying attention. And he went on and he said, we've gone to Bangalore in India. Now, if you look behind me, you see a building that says ONPASSIVE. This building is in Hyderabad. Okay? This building wasn't there at the time. At the time he had gone to Bangalore, he had leased 2 floors in a high-rise building. And then he went on. We've hired 200 engineers. And these guys are working day and night to make sure our dream is realized. So now again, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, most startup companies are going to have 20, 25 engineers. Most startup companies are going to have these engineers work 8, maybe 9, maybe 10 hours a day. I know because I've been part of a few of those. But Mr. Mofara goes to the source. And when I say source, I mean India. For those of us who are in IT, you'll agree with me that Indians are the best in the game. He goes to the source. He didn't get 20 or 25 engineers. He got 200 of them. They're not working 8 or 9 or 10 hours a day. They're working around the clock. So now in my head, I'm thinking, with this kind of a resource, yes, you're able to cut time frames. With this kind of a resource, yes, you're able to do in 2-3 years what should have taken 5-6 years. So my belief factor goes off the roof, and I'm listening keenly. And he goes on and he says, some of us founders who have been unethical, so we're going to come up with a non-disclosure agreement. When you see it, sign it up, because that's the only way you're going to participate in this great opportunity. 2 months later, he called up another meeting and he said, folks, NDA is out. Go sign it up. And I went back and took a look. Very long document, by the way. But by the time I was done reading that document, it occurred to me that this is the time I told my friend to do whatever it takes to get me informed so I can get involved. He was so on the money. I look back at the time, money, energy spent from the time I came into the company up until then. And I said to myself, I'm going to have to roll up my sleeves. I'm going to have to be part of this revolution in the making. Okay. I'm going to have to spread the word. So I called my friends to my office. I said, listen, we've got to spread this word massively. What's the best way? We brainstormed, came up on Zoom. Thanks to technology, with Zoom, all you need is a smart device. It can be a laptop, a smartphone, an iPad, doesn't matter. You get internet access and you're in business. So again, what is this company I'm talking about? ONPASSIVE, right behind me. And you look at Marty Degarmo's background, it says ONPASSIVE. That name was not given by chance. This is a passive opportunity. That means you're going to come in, become a founder. Once we launch, one little token, skin in the game, and this company goes to work on your behalf. So you can be passive, you can be active, it's up to you. Our CEO and founder that I just mentioned to you a few moments ago has a master's in e-commerce. He went back to Harvard, did some more online studies, back and forth. Studying what? Artificial intelligence, AI. He has a knack for it. This guy is a guru when it comes to traffic generation. Traffic, my friends, is the reason I can dream today. Traffic is the reason we can invite all of you to dream with us today. Traffic is so important. It's the most fundamental element in any business. So we're going to spend a couple minutes talking about traffic. What is traffic? I'm not talking about cars and motorbikes going up and down the street. No, I'm talking about people, customers, eyeballs, right? And now we're going to talk about traffic offline as well as online. And I know most of us looking for opportunities, we have an age. We're more used to offline businesses, right? So let's start there. Let's say you have a business offline and I have the same business. And it can be any business. It can be a barber shop, okay? A nail store, a car dealership, doesn't matter. But let's just say it is a restaurant. And you have the same restaurant like me, same name, same food, same chef, same price, same everything, except what? Location. Your restaurant is going to fare better than me if your restaurant is located in a busy shopping mall, okay? People come in and out all the time. And mine is located in a back alley. It is hidden. And why is that? Because people are going to come to that shopping mall minding their own business to do their nails, do their hair, buy some clothes, window shopping, whatever it is that brings them to that shopping mall. Eventually what happens? They get hungry. They look up, spot your restaurant, wander into your restaurant, and the end result of that is what? Sales. Whereas in my restaurant, they are going to have to know it is there. They're going to have to leave their homes deliberately to go there, right? Because of that, it suffers. It suffers from what? Traffic. So then the question is, what is traffic, right? Those customers, people coming in and out of your business, eyeballs. Now, what about online? What is traffic online? In this digital age, that's where we are, online. Simple, my friends, clicks. If you have a business online, the first thing that needs to happen before you make a sale, someone has to click on it. No clicks, no sales. The more the clicks, the more the sales. So we have individuals online, businesses online. How do they make money? By sending clicks, sending traffic to other businesses. Other businesses. What is a typical example? Google, right? They send clicks to businesses and they're making a killing. And then you have what we call targeted traffic. What is targeted traffic? So you go online looking for a TV and somebody walks behind you and whispers in your ears, right? Go to xxx.com and then you go there. All you see are TVs, all kinds of TVs, all colors, all sizes, all prices. What are the chances of you buying? Off the roof. Guess what? xxx.com just got itself a targeted traffic. It just got itself a customer looking for exactly what it is offering. Our CEO and founder, Mr. Mofara, is the best in this game of driving targeted traffic. He proved himself. Upon graduation, he got involved with a few companies, drove targeted traffic, sent them affiliates, sent them customers. It is true that he made some money doing that, and these companies also made lots of money. Unfortunately, though, most of them went out of business. Why? Remember we said earlier, legitimate viable products. No viable products, any business, any company is a time bomb. So Mr. Mofara and his family, notably his wife, are going to come together and say, listen, we're going to stop driving customers, sending customers to businesses that have no basis, that are going to go out eventually. Why don't we start our own? Get some legitimate, viable digital services, get founding members, you and I, drive traffic to them, send them customers, create everything, website, automate everything for them, because we are the best in the game. They make money, we make money, everybody is happy. That is the best of ONPASSIVE, my friends. And remember, this was way over 3 years ago. There was no pandemic. There was no COVID-19. These guys were just visionaries. They could see the future. So Mr. Mofara and his friends, they're going to sit together and say, hey, we have about 8 billion people on Earth. And statistics show that at any point in time, 7 million of those are online. Now that's prior to COVID-19. You can imagine what it is today. But 7 million at the time was still a lot. What kind of services are they looking for so that we can provide them? Some of us online, we are on our favorite social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. I love Facebook, but when we are on Facebook, what do? We are sending pictures, texts, back and forth to family members, friends, colleagues. Guess what that is called? Guess what the product of Facebook is? It's just a community. That's it. Mark Zuckerberg and his co-founders, they create a community, and advertisers are going crazy. And so these guys at ONPASSIVE, they're going to say, hey, we are the best in the game. We have AI. We're going to create our own community, bigger, better than anything out there. And we're going to use AI. Okay? If you come to join us, you're going to find out our community is almost 1.3 million right now. It should be there within days, by the way. Some of us online, what are we doing? E-commerce, drop shipping, email marketing, bulk emailing. If you don't know, there are people online making 6- and 7-figure income through email marketing. So these guys are going to say, you know, we can do that too. Autoresponder, we can do that too. Some of us online, video conferencing, just like you and I right now, right? If you can see me or you can hear me, it means you went to some application called Zoom, right? You put in some ID, and there you are. Eric Wan, the owner of Zoom, and his co-founders, they are monetizing on our services right now. So these guys are going to say, we know we can do that too. Video conferencing, we can do it better with AI. We have our own very own Connect. Those of us who have been founders for some time, we've had a sneak peek at it. It is better, clearer, faster, more secure, end-to-end encrypted, more scalable, and above all, guess what? More affordable. Like my friend Mike Ellis always says, at a lower price point. There are people online doing what? VPN, virtual private network. What is that? Sounds like a mouthful, right? It's just a tunnel. It's a tunnel that cuts across a major network, such as the internet. It provides for privacy. Employers use it so that their employees can access corporate data without fear of bad guys, without fear of hackers. Ever since the pandemic, more and more companies asking employees to work from home. Facebook, Microsoft, Google. Now, even the federal government asking employees to work from home. What does that mean? That means that people in the VPN space are making money, are monetizing. If these guys are ONPASSIVE, they're going to say, hey, we have AI. We're going to have our own. We call it O virtual. Everything in ONPASSIVE is going to have an O in front of it. Okay? O virtual. Super, super smart. More encrypted, more secured, more scalable. And guess what? Lower price point, more affordable. I can assure you, my friends, when ONPASSIVE launches, these big players in that space, the VPN space, they're going to know there is a new sheriff in town. Yes, they will know. I can assure you that. Search engine optimization, SEO, big. That's the way Google makes most of its money. SEO. Go to google.com, search for something. Guess what happens? They're going to optimize the search, bring that item to the top, and the company or the individual who has that item pays Google. And they call it pay-per-click. Well, ONPASSIVE is going to use search engine optimization, AI-driven, the best of the best, and going to drive traffic to our websites, you and I. Big. Okay, DNS, domain name service. You name it, we got it. AI driven. I can assure you, when we launch all these different companies in those different spaces where we're going to occupy, they will know there is a new kid on the block. Yes, they will know. So what am I doing, my friends? I am telling you, giving you some of the services that we're having in our arsenal. More than 50 of them. Human resource application. Okay, we have tracking, O tracker. Like I said, everything's going to have an O in front of it. Academy. Just if you've used Udemy, You guess what? We have Academy, way better. So ONPASSIVE, what are they doing? They say if you need it, and you're a business with an individual, you need it online, we have it together for you in one place. So under one umbrella, right? In IT, we call it single sign-on. No company has ever done it before, but we are there, 99% there. That's value. Okay. Now, I told you guys in the beginning, you don't have to recruit or sell to make money. You don't have to come out of pocket with ONPASSIVE to make money. And guess what? The best part, they have the most legitimate, viable digital services the world has ever known, and all in one place. To enjoy this value, what do you have to do? Now, we are only accepting founders. How much is it going to cost you to become a founder? Fortunately for you, it is still $97. I paid $97 way over 3 years ago. Today, it is still $97, but for a limited time only. But for a limited time, because the window will be closed very, very soon before you know it. So if you're a guest here today, get back to whoever invited you. Tell them, I am interested. I want to be part of this revolution before it's too late. Let them send you a link, and you can become part of us, part of this happy family that you see here. Now, you pay your $97. What is next? What do you do next? Nothing. Financially, nothing. Well, you can get involved like some of us who bring our loved ones because we want them to have the same benefits that we're going to get. Okay? And we are enjoying the process. We're getting to know each other. But it's up to you. You can just sit back, relax, and when we launch to the public, when we open to the public, you're going to come out of pocket again one more time, one last time, with a small, undetermined amount of money. But believe me, it is very, very small. It is so small, you don't even have to worry about it. You don't even have to think about it. One more time, and guess what happens? Now the company goes to work on your behalf. The company builds your website. The company places those products on your website. They send traffic, customers, targeted traffic, customers willing to buy those products to your website. And when they subscribe, you get a commission. Now, what if they don't subscribe right away? Those who do not, something else kicks in called Autoresponder. Reminds them every day about what they just saw. Well, what if they do decide to come in 1 week later, 2 weeks later, 3 months later? They are tied to you. You got another customer, more commissions. Well, you get all these customers. One of them has a problem 6 months down the road. Could not log in, could not do something. Something else kicks in. The chatbot, customer success department of ONPASSIVE, talks to them, walks them through. So guess what? Hands-free, 100% automated. You don't do anything. Sit back, fold your arms, relax, and we work for you. This is a revolution in the making, my friends. It has never happened. I call it democracy in business, a business of the people, for the people, and by the people. Jump on board before you are locked out. Now, there is risk in every business. Does ONPASSIVE have risk? You can say that, $97 risk, right? However, the CEO has eliminated that risk. Why? Because it is refundable. So you come join us, you don't like what you see, you don't like what you hear, say, I want my money back, and we will give it to you with a kiss. Okay? So I believe I've given you enough information to make an informed decision. And if you still have doubts, we are going to send you a recording of this presentation. Send your information to onpassivenation.com and you will get a recording. Over to you, Susie. You can take it over from here. Thank you very much.
Well, hard to follow up on that. That was excellent, Charles. Excellent, excellent. And you know what? I said this the other day in our founders only. When you're talking about something that you believe in and you understand and you catch the vision and your heart is in it, it's so easy to talk about it with other people. And you did an outstanding job, Charles. We really appreciate that. That was a great, great presentation. Kudos to you. So everybody watching this today, whether you're watching live or you're watching the recording, what a great opportunity this is. Like I said, when's the last time in your life that a CEO has invited you not just to become a founder, but to partner with him, be involved with him in a company that is going to help change the internet, change lives, change humanity? I got to tell you, I've never been asked in my entire life. So I bet you haven't either, but this is your opportunity. All you need to do is get back to the person who invited you. They have a registration link. They will help you get started. Easy peasy. Okay, if you would like a copy of today's webinar, down in the chat, I have put the email address. It's onpassivenation@gmail.com. Send an email and you'll get a recording of this. A lot to absorb, so maybe you want to re-listen to it. Also, you may say, oh my goodness, I'm jumping on board. This is incredible. And you want to share it with someone else, but you're not comfortable explaining it. That's the beauty of having this presentation. You can just send it to someone that you care about, have them take a listen and a look, and have them jump on board. So thanks again, Marty. Thanks again, Charles. We're going to go to the panel. We have 3 other speakers who have been with OnPassive for quite some time. First, I'd like to introduce Andy Burks from the UK. Andy will let you know he's been in the financial world his whole life. He's a numbers guy, not a tech guy. He is great at giving his insight into the numbers of OnPassive, and he always makes my head spin. So Andy, good to see you. Go for it. Tell everybody why you like these numbers.
Thank you. Yes. I don't know whether going last or going after Charles's fantastic presentation is worse, but thank you anyway. As Susie said, I'm not technically minded in the slightest. I have no clue as to the full uses of half of these products, how they work, but then I don't need to. It's like a light switch. You turn the light switch on and the light comes on. Perfect. But I'm a numbers guy, so I like to run through how this is going to affect your life, or how this could affect your life. So we know that we have, with the products that we've got on the website already, we have a marketplace at the moment of over 4.5 billion potential customers. And we expect that in the first year alone, OnPassive will take on over 100 million customers. Now, Charles mentioned earlier on, we are currently 1.3 million founders. So we're in the top 1%, as near as damn it, of the first year's customer base. Now, that's an incredible feat in itself. How would you like to be in the top 1% of Amazon or Google or Facebook? Fantastic. But I'm going to give you an example. And before I give you this example, I want to make it clear our esteemed CEO has guaranteed that we will have our 3 customers the day we launch globally to the world. So I'm going to assume in this instance, you've got your 3, and from then on, it's going to take the company 3 months to create a further 3 customers. Okay, so for you and for those 3 customers. So it'll go you plus your 3 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12, plus your 4 is 16. 16 times 3, 48, plus your 16, 64. You've heard these before, haven't you, Susie? 64 times 3, 192, plus your 64, 256. So at the end of the first year, if you did absolutely nothing, you'd have 256 customers. But if you shared this opportunity by sending this presentation to other people that you would like to see financially independent, and they come on board and join you in this journey, and you start with you plus 9, you can multiply those figures by 10. So you'd have 2,560 customers at the end of the first year, not 256. Now, actually, as I mentioned before, the CEO is guaranteed that every single founder will have their 3 customers and be in the green at global launch. So if you do the numbers and you've got 10, you've got 40 in your team by the time you start, by the time we launch. So you then do the maths on what I've based that example on, and you will work out for yourself exactly what you'd have at the end of the day. Now, I also want to give you an indication. In the UK, as you can see, Red and I are in the UK, and as many of you are. In the UK, the average retirement pot that people have built up over 30 years of working is £68,897. That's nothing. That will create an income of around about £3,000 a year. Add that to the average old age pension or security pension that you get in the States, it equates to a total of £10,155 a year. That's £846 a month. Now, I don't know about you, but I can't survive on that. So, as Charles said, it's $97 to become a founder, which in UK terms is about 75 quid. And that's a meal for 2, an evening out. And we anticipate it's going to be below $300 when we launch. So let's call it, for argument's sake, a total of $400 or 300 odd pounds, right? For your financial freedom. That's the key here, your financial freedom. Thank you very much, Susie. Back to you.
Well, Andy, thank you so much. Yes, those numbers, yep, it's still mind-boggling, and you always say it so well. I mean, look at this, a $97 cost to become a founder in such a massive company with the CEO who is going to be sharing the profits with us. You know, a lot that is something that people aren't used to. And that's because ONPASSIVE is different than anything else out there. It's created for all of us to be successful, whether you have a business background or not. It doesn't matter. That's the beauty of this. I know when I got on board, I reached out to my family and friends. A lot of them know nothing about online or all the different products, but that's okay. They caught the vision of what the CEO is doing, and they're excited. Okay, we have a couple more panelists. We have from Colorado in the United States, Mr. Dan Street. He recently, I think it's been almost a year now, Dan, that you have retired. He's got a background in the medical field. He'll explain a little bit of that to you. And he has a nice, easy way of explaining a few things about ONPASSIVE. He has some great insight. So go ahead, Dan.
Well, thank you, Susie, and great job, Charles. Charles did an amazing job of giving you a very good overview of how massive ONPASSIVE is and how you will be able to benefit for all of you new people that are listening today. Now, as Susie said, I had a 30-year career in selling medical devices to orthopedic surgeons. And I spent the majority of my life in the operating room. I spent many years looking for a way to gain time freedom. That was the one thing I was lacking in my business. And also a lot of stress. So I was looking for a way to eliminate stress and build wealth online, like a lot of you out there. Now, ONPASSIVE is in 215 countries, and we have over 1.3 million founding members. That's a massive amount of believers in the vision of Ash Mufareh. So the reason we're all so excited is because ONPASSIVE is in the process of launching to the world right now, okay? This isn't something way down the line. We have been in this process, and we're in the process right now. And over the last several years, most of us here on this panel have been on a ride of a lifetime. And we are very, very privileged to be founding members of ONPASSIVE. So the key takeaways that I would just briefly want all of you new people that are listening today to take away from this presentation that Charles Charles gave today, is that OnPassive is a real company and with real products and real people. And the products are proprietary. They're built from scratch. They're AI induced. They're superior and at a price point that's better than any of our competitors. And we're going to disrupt some major companies who you're all very familiar with. And that's very exciting. So OnPassive, and another key point is OnPassive will drive targeted traffic to your site and increase your customer base so you can earn commissions over and over again. The value of the products and this company are so superior that once the company or you generate customers for your business, they'll never leave. OnPassive is going to continue to invent and expand for years and years to come. So they have AI-induced software that follows up on your visitors, answers their questions, closes their sale, and does this through an automated process. Very key to keep that in mind, you new folks out there, that this is all automated. And it is a very affordable way to achieve generational wealth all through this automated process. So what we're seeing right now is the pendulum swinging from the founding members, the emphasis on founding members, to the product side of this business and the advertising side of this business and the branding of OnPassive worldwide. So you have an opportunity right now to be a founding member before that position closes forever. And when we say forever, it'll never come back. So it's very, very key for you, if you've been introduced to this today by somebody, to get back with them and join us. Back to you, Susie.
Thank you so much, Dan. I like your insight and a few of the things you said. Yes, this company is not one and done, one hit wonder, one product, throw it out there and be done. We have a genius of a CEO who has masterminded all of this and has strategically planned, not just for today, but for the future. And he is way ahead of the curve. And he is, we have more products that are in the pipeline. There's going to be new features to the products after we launch all the time, new features. And it still is only that small cost to get in. It's unbelievable. So thank you so much, Dan. Okay, and we're going to wrap it up with Mr. Red Redfern from the UK. Red has been part of OnPassive since almost day one. He knows the business inside and out. We love him on our webinars. He is the master of ceremonies at most of them, and you're going to love listening to what Red has to say. Go for it, Red.
Thanks very much, Susie, and the rest of the panel. Great to be here once again, especially to the guests. Lovely having you on board and listening to what Charles had to say. Great presentation, as always, Charles. You really do tell a very good story of how you got introduced into OnPassive and really what it's all about. Why do I love OnPassive? It is in my heart. I absolutely love it. Why? Because it is open and available to absolutely everybody and anyone. Zero qualifications. Most things you see online, you've got to do certain things, you've got to have the money, you've got to have the time, you have to buy things, stick them in your cupboard, try and get rid of them, all this sort of rubbish. With OnPassive, as Charles said, everything is 100% automated, so it's available to everybody. You don't have to be techie, you don't have to know computers. One thing you do have to do is to be in. As we always say, you have to be in it to win it. So the only way to prosper, the only way to benefit from this founder's position and to really encapsulate what it is all about is to pay the $97. Now, I want to explain a few things to you about this. Now, I have had many opportunities in my life that have passed me by. I've been in places with other individuals where I have heard about things in the early days. I've seen things in the early days, or people have even invited me to take part in things in the early days. And I have looked back on 2 I have missed out on. And I thought, why didn't I just go in there? Why didn't I just take the leap of faith? Why didn't I just have a go? ONPASSIVE is going to be another one of these I wish I had of moments in your life. And at the end of the day, what is your risk factor to it? Your risk factor at this time is 97 US dollars. In the UK, 70 odd quid. That's a night out. I mean, one person, that's a night out. Andy, it's double normally, but for me, that's one night out. So why not secure your financial future for the sake of one night out? Just don't go out for 1 week, and you are going to have that financial security that you so need. What happens if you had the opportunity to be a founder in Amazon? What happens if you had the opportunity to be a founder in Google or Microsoft or Facebook or any of these companies that I've mentioned, and loads more who are super successful online? They all started somewhere at the beginning looking for founders to help them start the company. We are no different. We are looking for people to help us. And this is what this founder's position is so special for, because we have a certain special place within the company. As Susie said, we partner ONPASSIVE. When we launch, guess what? No more founders, and we are going to be a customer-based business. This is how we make our money. You make a sale, we get a commission, everybody is happy. But this presentation and what we are doing right now is for that early bird founder's position. So put yourself in the right position, and that means becoming a founder. Your decisions that you make today will have an impact on your life in 2 or 3 years down the line. Do not miss this opportunity for the sake of really is a few pennies at the end of the day. It is ludicrous that we are offering this chance for $97. We know the value, what we have already. We have seen it grow from where it is to where it is now. And all I can say to you guys is have trust and faith in the person who has invited you here today. If you don't believe any of us, that is absolutely fine. But believe the person who has invited you here today. They are your friends. You know this person. You trust this person. They would not show you this opportunity if they didn't believe 100% in what we are trying to do here. There is no rip-off. There is no taking your money. We are giving you an opportunity. That is what we are doing. Anyway, that's it from me. Get back to the person who invited you here. You will not be sorry. Over to you, Susie.
Okay. Wow. Thanks for wrapping that up, Red. I'd like to thank all of the panelists today. Excellent presentation, Charles. Everyone who's watching, remember in the chat, I have said that if you would like a copy of today's webinar, send an email to onpassivenation@gmail.com. Later on this evening, the link will be ready. We can send it along to you. Try not to overthink this. Keep it very simple in your mind. You have an opportunity to get back to the person who invited you and get their registration link. 97 US dollars plus a $5 credit card fee. You're locked in, you're a founder. You'll have access to our back office. You'll have access to private founder information, recordings of webinars with our CEO. You'll be invited to all of the upcoming founders only webinars. You can continue your learning process. This is the place to be. You're here for a reason. Keep it simple. Don't overthink it. Hop on board. You'll be glad you did. We're happy that you're here today. Also, remember, we have these. We're not going to be having many more of them because the founder position is not going to be available again. That's going to be ending very, very soon. So get back to the person who invited you. But we do have these public webinars at 2 p.m. Eastern time every Tuesday. Also, Once you become a founder, you can look in the back office. I know Charles does some guest webinars. There's webinars all around the globe in different languages that you can send people to. But we recommend you hop on board and continue your education. This business is for everybody. It doesn't matter what level you're at. Okay, so thanks again to everyone who presented and to the panel, and have a great day, everybody. Thank you.